Bam. Bam. My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. We talking boxing, man. Y'all know what it is. Jay Smith, I'm in the building. Shout out to everybody who already done tuned in. Toy Mafia, Side, Daniel Negron, Pasta Track, in the building. The Lunatic Librarian, salute fam. Happy Saturday, my peoples. Y'all know what it is, man. It doesn't matter if it's hot, if it's cold, if it's raining, snowing, sunny, whatever the weather. If you're awake, if you up, if you breathing, God gave you another day, my people. Oof. Thank you, God. We talking boxing this Saturday morning. We got some fight tonight. We got some fights, my peoples. And y'all know what it is. If it's some big fights going on, I'm calling them. So just know right now, you don't even have to ask me, Jay, you calling these fights? Yes, I will be calling them. Sweet Poison, okay, Mrs. Fundora is coming back. Is going to be defending her undisputed crown. I'm going to be calling that fight. Going to be a real good fight. Take that to the bank to get some pounds. Gabriela Fundora is about that life. She always give us that smoke. Oscar Collazo is going to be defending his world title. This is going to be a real good fight. Y'all know your boy got you. I'm calling it for you. And then, of course, the main event. Ooh, Sims. A lot of people is saying that Sims could beat Barboza. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be a competitive fight. So this morning, we're going to make some predictions. Let me see what you guys have. We're going to be talking about it. Daniel Negron, real good. Yo, we're getting some good fights tonight, man. It's going to be real competitive out there. Are we going to see some upsets? Is somebody going to be upset? Are we going to... Because I'm telling you right now, Barboza's the favorite. Barboza's the favorite to win this fight. But a lot of people saying, yo, Sims is going to beat him. I've seen a lot of people throughout the last few days like, yo, Sims is going to beat him. So we have to talk about it. But let's go to the first fight that I'm going to be calling. We got Gabriela Fundora once again, you know, defending that undisputed crown. She one of the youngest champions in boxing. Come on now. The Lunatic Librarian. Fundora gets KO of the night. Whoa. She's been on a run. She's been on a run. The thing about Gabriela Fundora is that she breaks down her opponents. You know, she just start picking you apart slowly. Bam, bam, landing hard shots. And eventually they get to you. And if she catch you flush, you're in trouble. And here's the deal. This is how you know that she's a very hard puncher. In women's boxing, with them 2-minute rounds, it's harder to stop somebody. People don't take that into consideration. It's shorter rounds. You have less time to work. So it's harder to stop people, to stop your opponent in 2-minute rounds. See, Gabriela Fundora been stopping them. Stopping them. Pisco, what network is this fight on? Well, I mean, I'm assuming that it's on the zone. I think it's on the zone, but I'm not sure. I mean, Gabriela Fundora is and you see it's Golden Boy. So even though Golden Boy's contract ran out with the zone, I see that they still putting fights on the zone. So for the people who thought that Oscar De La Hoya was gonna go elsewhere, you know, I I don't think so. It doesn't look like it from my point of view. But I'm going to tell you guys what right now. Gabriela Fondora's opponent, I don't know that young lady. You know, I don't know how good she is. Of course, I'm going with the favorite. I don't see anybody beating Fundora in and around her division. So, she's going to defend tonight. You can expect Gabriela Fundora to walk out of there with a W, my peoples, and stay undefeated. Now, like I said, I don't know how good her opponent is. Maybe she could make it interesting. She could make it a tough fight. I see Fundora walking out of there with a W. That's me. My perspective. Daniel Negron. Sims is the favorite on the Barboza fight. Word? I didn't even know that. I thought Barboza would be the favorite. You see, you filled me in. Appreciate the fact checking. Whoa. So Sims is not an upset if he wins. He's the favorite. Whoa. My peoples, make your predictions, man. Make your predictions for that fight right now. Who's going to win this fight? Barboza or Sims? Put it out there. Clifton Dennis, very slightly favored. He's the favorite to win the fight. Who y'all got winning it? Make your prediction. Is it going to be Sims? Is it going to be Barboza? Clifton Dennis, I got Sims. 8-4, 7-5. It's going to be an interesting fight, man. You know. I say Sims got the boxing skills, and Barboza is going to try to apply that pressure and overwhelm him. Now, you guys saw Teofimo Lopez, right, beat Barboza. He outboxed him. But you know that Teo got that power too. So he keep you honest. That's one thing. Sims is not going to blow you out of there with a big shot. He's not, the hardest puncher ever or nothing like that. Daniel Negron, I just looked it up. Underrated Will. Good morning, my brother. Salute, family. Bam. Clifton Dennis, you think Barboza is a pressure fighter? I think he can be a pressure fighter. And that's the way that he wins this fight. I don't think that he's going to outbox him. I don't think he's going to outbox him. He has to apply pressure. Underrated Will. Salute, Clifton. Daniel Negron, I got Sims. I'm telling you, though, I would say most people are leaning towards Sims to win this fight. Thus far, that's been the case. The lunatic librarian, Barboza might stop Sims. Look, man, this is going to be an interesting fight. Styles make fights, and that's why I say that Barboza is going to have to apply pressure. He's going to have to fight that type of fight. Because Sims can outbox him. He can outbox him and beat him with the cards. So when you have a guy who has those type of boxing skills, you got to try to overwhelm him. You got to try to, swarm him at times. Get him off his game. Because if it turned, if Sims is going to be the guy dictating the pace, then Barboza's going to be in for a long night. A long night. Clifton Dennis, I don't see a pressure fighter when I watch Barboza, but I respect your opinion. I'm going to watch closely tonight. So I see Sims as the more technical fighter, the sharper fighter. And Barboza's not going to beat him in a boxing match. He's going to be the guy that's going to, try to inflict bodily harm. Try to hurt him, try to disrupt what Sims does. Watch. if he can, right? If he can, because he's looking at a technical fighter. But if he can, Barboza's gonna be the fighter dictating the pace, and Sims is gonna use his skills, his lateral movement, his footwork. Clifton Dennis. I always seen Barboza as a boxer, a smart fighter, but just not the level of the elite. No, Barboza can fight. He can fight. He can box. But look what happened to him with Teofimo Lopez. He got Teofimo outboxed him. You could see that Teo wasn't out there trying to blow him out of the water. He respected Barboza's power, and he was cautious. But he made it look easy. Like in that fight, there was never a moment where you say, "Okay, Barboza, he got a chance. He might get him." Like he got made to look easy. That wasn't the fight. He wanted to go forward, but Teofimo, he'll keep you honest with his own power. So in this case, Sims is not a guy that is a hard puncher or a knockout artist, let's say. He has, like 3-4 total knockouts. So Sims is a technical fighter. He's a skilled fighter, but he's not, a devastating puncher. So in this case, I see Barboza, trying to be the pressure guy, trying to be the guy who brings it to his opponent. The lunatic librarian. Sims leaves himself open and gets lax. I think it's going to be an interesting fight. Styles make fights. That's what it's all about. This is going to be a real good main event. But wait a minute, because before we get to the main event, we got Collazo defending his title. My peoples. I'm going to go here real quick. Look at this right here, man. Got to give a shout out to Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico got 4 world champions right now, 4 reigning champions, and one of them is fighting tonight. The lunatic librarian, I got Barboza by stoppage, late 10th round. Ooh, Barboza by stoppage. So you're talking about he's going to break him down over the course of 10 rounds and then finally get the stoppage. Clifton Dennis. Do you remember the Haro Barboza fight? I thought that was a chess match between 2 B-level fighters. I believe that's what we'll see tonight. I don't know. That fight just wasn't as entertaining as it looked on paper, to be honest. I think this one will be more interesting. I think this fight, we're going to get 2 fighters that are trying to get an opportunity that are both trying to go up. So I think we're going to get a good one. My peoples, like I said, man, shout out to Puerto Rico. They got 4 reigning world champions right now. And you see it, Oscar Collazo, he's going to be fighting tonight. Then we got Xander Sayas, Amanda Serrano, and Renee Santiago. Reigning world champions right now. Oscar Collazo is going to be defending his title tonight. That's the co-main. He can fight. If you haven't seen Oscar Collazo fighting, my peoples, he can fight. Let the hands go. He trying to put hands on his opponents. Quick, sharp. The lunatic librarian, Collazo about to put on a show. I believe you. I believe you, bro. Shaw Johnson. Hey, champ, you think Fundora gets the stoppage? Look, man, I was talking about that earlier. It's hard in women's boxing to get the stoppage when, most of the fights is 2-rounders. There's been a few 3-rounders, but it's usually 2-rounders. It's hard to get a stoppage over the course of 2-minute rounds. I said 2-rounders, 2-minute rounds. It's hard to get the stoppage, but, Gabriela Fundora been stopping them. She been getting the stoppage. So, honestly, I think it's possible that she stopped this girl. Look, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. I never seen the girl fight. It's hard to make those predictions because sometimes a fighter you never seen show up and they there to fight and they'll take everything the champion got and keep going. So I don't know what type of opponent she's facing. But I say with Gabriela Fundora, a stoppage is always on the table. She already showed us the power is there. Let's see it. Let's see how it plays out. Jaru. Najee Lopez on his way. Ooh. Ooh. Hungry Lion right there. Underrated Will. Oscar can crack. Clifton Dennis. I bet her for the decision last 3 fights and lost. I'm telling you, man. Gabriela Fundora been stopping them. It's going to be a very interesting fight. Very interesting. And that's the one thing I could tell you guys. If you've been watching Gabriela Fundora fights, you know she's the goods. You know that you're always going to get a good fight from her. You know, she can box and she can bang with her opponents. And she likes to bang. She'll trade. She'll sit there in the pocket and trade with them. Bing, 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 bing. Hold that. Take that. Lay down. Golf ball. Gabriela Fundora is not a joke, my peoples. You know, that she's one of my favorite female fighters to watch right now. Clarissa Shields, Gabriela Fundora, obviously Alicia Baumgartner, you know, what she brings to the table. You know, I would say those would be my 3 favorite fighters to watch. Lady Caroline Dubois, too. Ooh, Caroline Dubois, I like her. Damn, she can fight. She can fight. Daniel Negron. Collazo is rising star for sure. Last night, Najee Lopez got a bad cut and still finished it. I didn't see the fight, man. I missed it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to watch the replay, though. See if I can watch the whole thing. But, my peoples, we got some good boxing tonight, right? Y'all already know I'm going to be calling these fights. But check this out real quick, man. Did you see this? Mike Tyson says that him and Floyd are going to do 8 rounds, no weight limit. And it makes sense. Obviously, Floyd is not going to tell Mike, yeah, Mike, you got to weigh this much. Is Mike 60 already? I think he, you know, 59, 58. So, of course, Floyd's not going to tell Mike to drop in weight. But this fight is going down, my people, next month. Yeah, next month. J-Rue, fight of the year contender. Do you mean the main event? Or Mike Tyson versus Floyd Mayweather? Does this go the 8 rounds? Yes. Make your predictions for this one, yo. Does this go the 8 rounds? Yes, it goes the 8 rounds. Floyd is going to use his footwork. Mike Tyson is going to, you know, have a good time. Floyd's going to have a good time, and they're going to walk out of there with the bag. They're going to get this money. But, my peoples, it's going down in Africa. Oh, the Najee Lopez fight. Okay. Damn, fight of the year contender. I'm going to have to check it out. Golly. The lunatic librarian. Mike gets injured. Round 4. Oh, a stoppage. Floyd Mayweather about to get the stoppage on Mike. Clifton Dennis. Floyd outpoints Mike. Do you think it's going to sell? Well, the venue where they do it at is going to sell out, for sure. The venue is going to be sold out. If I'm not mistaken, is this thing gonna be on Netflix? If it's gonna be on Netflix, it's gonna do big numbers too. I think it's gonna be on Netflix, right? Can't remember off the top of my head. But you know, Netflix is the platform. It's gonna do big numbers. Click the Dennis. I didn't see what happened last night. Was it an upset? I didn't see it myself. I gotta see it. So my peoples, there you have it. In case you didn't know, I didn't know. It's an 8-rounder, no weight limit, exhibition. Gonna have a good time, get that paper. J. Rue, Tyson had a cast on his hand today. Oh, man. Oh, boy. I mean, it's an exhibition. They probably still do that joint. Get that money. My peoples, the Conor Ben effect. The Conor Ben effect. Check this out, my peoples. John Jones was supposed to fight in the White House card, the UFC card that they doing. Now, you know that we don't do UFC over here. We do boxing. But boxing is involved in this news because John Jones obviously heard about the $15 million that Conor Ben is getting for one fight. And he said, I want $15 million. And they said, we can't do that. So he's out of it. He's not going to fight in the White House. So are we going to see more of an effect on UFC fighters because of that Conor Ben purse? Are we going to see UFC fighters say, wait a minute, you paying boxers all this money? We're going to need more money too. Nah, we can't be making this bullshit money when the boxers is making the millions. You gave Buddy over there $15 million for one fight. He ain't even fighting for no title. He ain't even the main event. We need to get paid over here. I'm telling you, man, this could have an effect on you know, UFC fighters being disgruntled. That's my perception because John Jones, one of the biggest names in UFC, and for him not to be in that card, when, by the way, people already say that the UFC card that they doing in the White House sucks. I don't know. You guys know that I don't follow UFC like that. I see, in fact, what's that girl name? That she got pummeled, but she was mad nice, but then she got pummeled in the UFC. Beat up, they beat her up, and then she went to wrestling. She said that the White House card sucks. That's what she said. They could have had John Jones headlining it, and they didn't want to give him the type of money that he was asking for. But he's like, yo, but you gave this dude, yeah, Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey was like, that card sucks. Clifton Dennis. Do you believe he's really getting 15 mil for one fight? Some people questioning it. No, I'm questioning it. I don't believe that shit. They're already talking about he's going to fight. I read a report somewhere that he will be fighting on Zulfa because remember, this upcoming fight is on Riyadh season. You know what I think they could do? For example, he does this fight supposedly for $15 million, but then he got it in his deal that he's got to do 2 more fights on Zulfa, and for those 2 fights, he'll make like $1 million each. So really, it'll turn out to be like $17 million for 3 fights. They could do shit like that too. So it looked like you're getting $15 million for this one, but then you're gonna fight on Zulfa 2 more times, and you ain't gonna make nowhere near that type of money. So in reality, it'll be like a 3-fight deal, totaling X amount. as opposed to 15 million for one fight like they framing it. But we'll see. We'll see. I think honestly, me myself, I think the 15 million is capped. I don't buy it. My peoples, y'all know Oscar De La Hoya. He always go hard on Dana White and Zuffa Boxing. He been going at him. They been going at him too. Fair game. Look what Oscar De La Hoya said. He accused Zuffa Boxing of misleading Jai Opataya about becoming undisputed champion. The IBF is now reviewing the champion's title situation. So, to clear something up, the IBF hasn't stripped him yet. They said they were going to, but they have not officially stripped him. They're reviewing it, right? But they might. So that situation, here's what's been reported, right? Apparently, the IBF was not in contact with anybody at Zuffa about sanctioning the fight. Nobody reached out to them. That's what was reported. And that they never came to an agreement about sanctioning the fight, and then they saw that the fight was being sanctioned by Zuffa, or that it was for the Zuffa belt. And that's it. They wasn't sanctioning it. So now Oscar De La Hoya is saying that Jai Opataya was misled because, and that was reported as well, that Dana White said that he would allow fighters to pursue their dream. He's not going to stop them. But now look, Jai Opataya fought, and he didn't defend the IBF title in that fight because they didn't sanction it. He had the belt with him, but they didn't sanction it. No Jimenez, salute. Bam. So what's going to happen now with Zuffa Boxing? Are they really going to allow fighters to grab those belts, to unify those belts? Trent Thomas, salute family, bam. So Jai Opataya is in a situation right now. We're going to find out. We're going to see how this whole thing plays out. Now watch this. Watch this. Now the IBF got this problem going on over here. But let me show you how the WBC be on some goofball shit. Goofballery from the WBC. So you guys know that Zurdo and the Mexican Monster, they're going to be fighting soon. That fight was already announced, officially scheduled, everything. Signed, sealed, and delivered. It's going to be a good fight, right? Now, I want you guys to understand. The fight is going to be for the IBF and the WBO. Or the IBF and the WBA is for two titles. The WBC is not involved in this fight. The WBC title is not up for grabs in this fight, right? Yo, Mauricio the Goofball Sulaiman wants to bring in some type of commemorative belt for that fight, a WBC belt, and awarded after that fight to the winner. Bro, your title's not on the line, so you want to make a title for this fight? Fuck is wrong with you, babe? The two sanctioning bodies that are involved threaten to pull out, to not sanction a fight. If the WBC get involved, how are you going to bring some weird-ass title that you just made up so that you could be involved? The lunatic librarian, Zuffa, is going to collapse the three-letter organizations. AAD. Everywhere you look, it seems like Conor Ben deal is pure one-fight deal. It's believable considering Zuffa wants two just to get in the door. I think they don't understand what he needs to do to achieve that. Salute, family. Bam. So, I'm going to tell you why it doesn't make sense to me, Double AD. And what you're saying is a good logic. But I'm going to tell you why it doesn't make sense. You're giving them, you signing them to Zuffa Boxing, right? For $15 million. But he's not even fighting on Zuffa, bro. It's not even a Zuffa card. It's a Real season card. So that's not going to be on Paramount Plus. So why would you give somebody $15 million to sign him to Zuffa, but he's not fighting on Zuffa? So that's why I don't buy the $15 million for just one fight. Because he's going to fight on Zuffa. They giving him this much money. Watch. Remember I told you this. Watch him after this not go to another promotional company, but stay with Zuffa and fight in an actual Zuffa card. Remember I told you this. He's going to do that. I expect it. But also, not just $15 million to not fight on Zuffa. That's one. Two, it's not even a main event. He's the co-main event in the Tyson Fury card. $15 million to be the co-main event. And three, it's not even a championship fight. Nothing about that whole situation said $15 million for one fight. And when you say, I want you to think about this, when you say, oh, just trying to get their feet in the door, that's exactly what they did with Jai Opataya. They got their foot in the door when they announced that they signed Jai Opataya. A guy, Conor Ben, not even a world champion. Jai Opataya, a ring belt magazine champion, a unified champion, more accomplished than Conor Ben. So they got their foot in the door. And I guarantee you, Jai Opataya ain't getting no $15 million for no one fight. They secured a multi-fight deal or a multi-year deal, contract with him. So give Conor Ben $15 million for one fight. There's nothing about it that tells me that is true, other than what's being reported. Double AD, I just think for now Dana doesn't mind in order to break through. Same thing Eddie did in return, get back at Dana. Signed the UFC guy. Yeah, they signed the management deal, but still, we haven't seen Dana do it with anybody. I don't know that he will do that with Conor Ben. Give him $15 million. But we'll see. Going forward, let me give you an example. This would be proof that he really got $15 million for one fight. If he does this fight, and then he go with any other promotional company after this fight, then it really was a one-fight deal. So, if after this, Conor Ben signed with Queensbury, or with Golden Boy to make the Ryan Garcia fight, or with whoever, then it was a one-fight deal. But if he goes to fight on a Zuffa card after this, it was definitely not a one-fight deal. 100%. It's a multi-fight deal and they try to frame it that way. See, Graf, what's up to you? What's up to you, family? Good morning. Salute, my brother. Bam. We talking boxing, my G. We talking boxing, my brother. We have a good card tonight. We have some good fights coming up. Looking forward to it. Like I told you, fellas, I'm going to be calling these fights. Sweet Poison is the first one I'm going to be calling. And you see the style. You see what she brings to the table. Double AD, I agree that there's no way he's going to start paying UFC guys like this. It's just not the business model that they have. There's too much money in boxing for that greedy ass to not get into it. It's going to bring problems. It's going to bring the problems because now you're going to see UFC fighters saying, well, if you're paying them guys like that, we need to get paid like that. It's gonna bring friction. You're gonna see disgruntled fighters on lace kicks. Bam! Salute, family. Double AD. Surprised it took this long for him to enter the boxing world. I mean, he was trying to get into it. He just didn't have the right connections before. That's it. Once he linked up with His Excellency Turkey Al Sheikh, it was a wrap. Skip a clipper in the building. Bam. My peoples, Gabriela Fundora is going to win by stoppage. That's it. I told you. Trent Thomas, the boxing politics are being exposed even more after Crawford and Canelo fight. Free agents in boxing are rare. No, it's true. The thing is that it's really hard to be a free agent. You know, for you to be a free agent, you basically have to be a superstar. If you're not a superstar and you remain a free agent, you cooked. You have to be a big star in order to be a free agent and be active. You have to have a promotional company, a big one. And now you can face inactivity, not get the big fights, and that's it. That's problems. Skip a clipper. Sims or Barboza. Ooh. Look, I'm going to say this right now. I did not know that Sims is the favorite to win this fight. I've been told that Sims is slightly favored to win it. What do you guys think, man? What do you guys think about this fight? Because Barboza can fight. He only got one loss to Teofimo Lopez. It's not like he an average Joe. He can fight. Mr. KO, I got Barboza. Whoa. I think you're the first one. You the first one, Mr. KO. Everybody so far has been saying, nah, Sims is going to get him. Sims going to get him. Although somebody said earlier that Barboza is going to stop him in the 10th round. Skip a clipper, Sims by decision. I'm telling you, bro. Sims is actually the favorite to win this fight. And a lot of people who've been commenting on Boxing for Breakfast got Sims walking out of there with the W. With the W. Whoa. So look, I'm going to tell you like this. Gabriela Fundora, I got her winning this fight. I don't know her opponent. Sometimes it's hard to make these predictions because you could get caught off guard by somebody that you don't know about. You know, she could be some Madrimov type of fighter that, you know, just show up and, oh, shit, what's this? But I'm going to go with Gabriela Fundora to win this fight and to win by stoppage. Gabriela Fundora stopping her. That's it. That's what you wanted to hear. You heard it here first. Jay Smith is telling you Gabriela Sweet Poison Fundora is going to get the stoppage. Beat her up. She's going to beat her up, my peoples. I got to call it how I see it, right? The W for Gabriela Fundora. It's going to be, you know, another defense of her undisputed crown. We got Oscar Collazo, 1 out of 4 Puerto Rican champions. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good showdown, my peoples. Trent Thomas, I actually think it's a 50-50. We might get a pressure fight. Oscar Collazo, my people, is going to defend. Another good fight. We're going to get some fireworks. Trent Thomas, are you talking about the Sweet Poison fight? This one is a 50-50 for you? Damn. Homegirl can fight like that? She nice like that? Whoa. I'm still going with Gabriela Fundora. she's so good at using her height and reach advantages. Just like her brother, she got that jab, pop, pop, pop. And then when she already starts timing you, starts getting in her rhythm, the right hand down the pipe, bang. The 1, 2, 3, pop, pop, pop. Gabriela Fundora is a problem. And every fight of hers is a fun fight to watch. You enjoy it. She's coming through. The thing about Gabriela Fundora is that she's not just there to win. She's not trying to just outpoint her opponents. She's there to show out. She's there to put on a show. She's there to beat your ass. And that's what she do. You gotta love it. Gotta love it, my peoples. 2 left hooks. Fundora 1, 2 is crazy. Down the pipe. Bang! I see her drop a few with that 1 deuce. The good old 1 deuce. With that reach and right down the middle. Man, listen. She be putting it on them. Lumping chicks up. This is going to be a good fight right here, my peoples. This is going to be a good fight. Doesn't go the distance. And by the way, does anybody see any upsets tonight? Any upsets that you guys see? That you say, okay, now this person going to be upset. Because I'm going to say this to y'all. Right now, if Barboza wins, it's an upset. Sims is the favorite to win this fight. Take that to the bank to get some pounds. Sims is the favorite to win this fight. So the magic question, can Barboza pull off the upset in this main event? Listen, man. Listen, man. This is going to be a good fight. This is going to be a good fight, fellas. 2 left hooks. That Sims versus Barboza, I don't know, Jay Smith. That's a good fight. Mr. KO, Barboza will pull it off. I'm stamping it. So right there, you're going with the underdog. You're rocking with the underdog. 'Cause most people thus far on this show, and I've seen on social media, they rocking with Sims. They got Sims winning this fight. I'm going to have to make my prediction, y'all. I'm going to have to make my prediction for this fight. I haven't made it. I haven't made my prediction. I'm going to tell you who's going to win this fight. Trent Thomas. Gabby's different. I was talking about the guys because he's coming off of a loss. Yeah, man, Gabriela Fundora is special. Let me say this. Right now, Sims is the favorite to win this fight. The odds favorite. And even most people that are coming on the show got Sims winning this fight. Barboza, we know that he can fight too. He got 1 loss in his resume. So Sims has taken 3 L's. Barboza only got 1 loss. They're both good fighters. I think Sims got the skills to outbox him. Use that movement, that footwork, that quickness. But I see Barboza. Somebody told me that They don't expect Barboza to be a pressure fighter. I see Barboza being able to apply pressure and looking to dictate the pace. So I'm telling you right now, Barboza's winning this fight. The underdog is winning this fight. Take that to the bank to get some pounds from Jay Stradamus. There you go. Rocking with Barboza to walk out of there with the dub. 2 left hooks. We lit tonight. I know that much. Telling you, that's it. I already told y'all who's going to win the fight. And by the way, in case you just got here, I'm calling these fights. Calling these fights live. So you're going to see the left to the mouthpiece, the right to the wig piece. Oh, the humanity. Get ready for that smoke. Get ready. We on it. We on it, my peoples. Gonna get this action. Action-packed type of night. Because all these fights are going to be competitive. They say this is the guy who's going to win the main event, y'all. They say this is the dude who's going to win the main event. Mr. KO, can't wait for tonight. Devastating blow, ladies and gentlemen. That was quite brutal, if you ask me. 2 left hooks. What time you starting tonight? So I'm going to start, I don't know the time, but I'm going to start right before Gabriela Fundora take the stage. So I'm going to do those 3 fights. So right before, when they start showing the fighters before they go up, boom, that's when I'm going to go live right there. And tell you, we're going to get this action. Kelly Monero, how did Barboza become the underdog? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. Because I actually thought that Barboza was the favorite. And I was like, yo, people rooting for the underdog in Sims. They going with the underdog. And then somebody told me, nah, Jay, Barboza's the underdog. I was like, oh, shit. I mean, Kenneth Sims is nice. He's nice like that. But in all honesty, I don't know. I don't know. Barboza's the underdog. And Kenneth Sims, the thing is, they both coming off of a loss. Because look, Kenneth Sims, he's coming off of a loss to Oscar Duarte. And then Barboza's coming off of a loss to Teofimo Lopez. So they both coming off of a loss. But think about this though. Barboza beat Jack Catterall. That's a bigger win than any win in Kenneth Sims' resume. Kenneth Sims ain't beat nobody that you could say, yeah, that person is a Jack Catterall level. So Arnold Barboza got the better win, the better resume. But he's the underdog in this fight. Mr. KO, I have no clue either. But I see Sims losing the middle and late rounds. So you see then, he's outboxing him early. That's what you're saying. He's outboxing him early and Barboza starts catching up to him. Mr. KO, Barboza by UD. Mr. KO and Catterall, a good boxer too. That's a real good win. That's a real... You saw Jack Catterall give some... I'm not even going to name anybody, but he gave some people hell. And they say, now he beat him. Beat him. 2 left hooks. AJ Smith, my wife just asked what I was doing. I told her getting my daily dose of boxing for breakfast. Come on now, getting that. And it's a healthy dosage of sweet science that we delivering over here. So my peoples, again, This the underdog right here. That's the underdog. Right there. I'm telling you, he's going to win the fight. That's it. I told you he's going to win the fight. So now, if it goes down the way I'm telling you it goes down, just remember to bring it up on Monday's episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Be like, yeah, Jay, you told us. It went down like you told us it would. Kelly Monero, you was right about Sobriel Matias' fight. I should have listened. I try to tell you. And look, that wasn't an easy prediction for me to make because I really like Sobriel Matias. You know, I'm a fan of his. But I always tell people when I make a prediction, I'm not making it based off of who I like or anything like that. I go with who I say is gonna win because that's what I expect. I made my assessment and I saw him losing that fight. 2 left hooks. Barboza only lost to Tio, right? That's his only loss to Teofimo Lopez. That's why I don't understand why. Why would he be the underdog? Easy. That's easy money for me right there. What betting on the underdog? Getting this money, flip it, death. I'm flipping. Now, I gotta say, it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be interesting. They're gonna go back and forth. And they're gonna trade some sweet leather, my peoples. Oh, yes. It's gonna be a good fight. I got Barboza winning it. That's it. Told you what's gonna happen. And then when I'm calling the fights live, I'm gonna be like, I told you. Y'all gonna know what I'm talking about when I say that. When this fight is over, and you hear those words, I told you. You'll know what I'm talking about. Underrated Will, I told you. Y'all gonna have to hear it tonight. Again. How many times I gotta tell you? How many? Now, I'm not saying that Barboza is just gonna wash him. Don't get it twisted. Kenneth Sims can fight. He's gonna be laying hands on Barboza too. I think that they're gonna go back and forth and they're both gonna have their moments. But ultimately, yes, sir, Barboza's going to walk out of there with the dub. 2 left hooks. I remember you told us about Bub beating Canelo. And people didn't want to listen again, bro. And I try to say it, try to tell you for like 3 months. 3 months of it. Yo, this is going to happen. This is going to go down. But I also try to tell you when Crawford was going to fight Arrow. And everybody was saying that Arrow was too big and too strong, and he's going to knock him out, and he's going to walk him down, and Crawford is not going to be able to keep him off of him. And my favorite line, if Gamboa wobble him, imagine what Arrow's going to do to him. Oh, man, that was crazy. So you can see how much Crawford was hated. I want you to consider this. His last fight of his career was with Canelo Alvarez. And people were still saying, if Gamboa hurt him, imagine what Canelo's going to do to him. Like, it had already been more than 10 years since he faced Gamboa. And people were still bringing that up. That was crazy. That was insane, bro. Trent Thomas, everyone think because you lose, Daniel Negron is going to be a great fight. I got Sims. Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. What's up, bro? Salute, family. Bam. We got some good fights tonight, bro, and I'm going to be calling them live. I'm going to be on the commentary. So you are going to hear the left to the wing piece. the right to the mouthpiece. Devastating blow, ladies and gentlemen. This is when I'm going to kick off the live right before the ladies take the stage. Gabriela Fundora is going to be defending her undisputed crown. I'm on it. I'm going to be calling this. You know, Sweet Poison always gave us that smoke, gave us that action. So I'm expecting nothing less. Don't be surprised if we see another stoppage from Gabriela Fundora. Don't get it twisted. She's out there to inflict bodily harm. That's what she's about. And that's what I'm expecting from this fight. Then we got Oscar Collazo defending his title. This is going to be a good showdown. We're going to get fireworks. So Fundora, you know she's going to deliver the heavy artillery. Right here, we're going to see some fireworks as well. Bruce, both fighters coming off of losses. 2 losses in a row can ruin a career. Oh, you see? I was talking about that earlier. Sims coming off of a loss. Barboza's coming off of a loss. Come on, man. And when we start predicting, most people got Sims winning this fight. Kelly Monero, are you putting any money up on that Barboza fight? I'm not sure, to be honest, that I'm going to, but I already said Barboza's winning. Barboza's going to win this fight. 2 left hooks. Make the fight even better. Down in the ground. Great point. It's going to be an interesting fight. Both guys are going in there with a chip on their shoulder. Like, damn, I'm coming off of a loss. I need this win. When you got 2 fighters who both took an L in their last fight, they need it. They both need that joint. Mr. KO, looking forward to seeing Collazo show out tonight. Listen, bro, Oscar Collazo, for the people who don't know him, for the people who haven't seen him, he's going to put on a show. You know, he's going to be on the big stage, and he's going to do what he do. But his opponent can fight. Don't get it twisted. Opponent can fight. Let's see how interesting he can make it. It's going to be a good one. Don't get it twisted. We're going to get the fireworks. We're going to get the goods tonight. I'm telling you that right now. We're getting the goods. But earlier I was talking about this. For those of you who just tuned in, check it out, man. John Jones, because Conor Ben got $15 million, he wanted $15 million. Dana White was like, nah, we can't give you that type of money. So for that reason, apparently he's not going to be fighting in the White House. For that reason, he's not going to be fighting in the White House. But here's the deal. Does this mean that we're going to see disgruntled UFC fighters because they're not getting paid like the boxers? Are the UFC fighters now going to say, hey, Dana, what's up? You paying all this money to those people over there. Can we get some of that money too? Ifamura, he pissed. Come on now. But I keep reminding y'all, and I want y'all to understand it. Me personally, I do not believe the $15 million for one fight stuff. I don't believe it. There's something's going on. The math is not mathing when it comes to that one. So my personal take is that they put that number out there That $15 million number to attract people, to attract fighters, to say, whoa, they're making the money over there, right? But they're also going to attract that attention from UFC fighters who are going to say, yo, we need to get that type of money too. Why we not getting these millions? But let's see how Dana White is going to handle this. By the way, my peoples, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Giving you this healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Make sure you hit that like button, man. We've been at it for over an hour, not even 30 likes. Not even 30 likes. We ghost watching like crazy. I'm about to have breakfast right now. For those of you having breakfast, enjoy it. Happy Saturday, my people. Happy Saturday. Damn. I'm going to say I think the money that Dana's going to be paying boxers is going to lead to him having issues with UFC fighters. Why? Because again, they're going to be seeing you paying out all this money to those fighters over there. And then they signing contract for bullshit money over here. They're going to be like, damn, what's up? Iframura, he's made a lot of money for Uncle. He's trying to go out comfortable. Pat McCart, Dana got to be making bank from the White House. He's giving away one ticket for free. It costs over $80,000. Golly. B Skull, he basically got his own platform to cross-promote MMA fighters. He lost Conor McGregor like that. UFC, Trent Thomas. MVP Promotions is probably going to take some of the UFC fighters. Yup. Yup. What Jake Paul is going to do, the big stars from UFC, that they not getting money like that, they're going to get out the contract and Jake Paul is going to sign them. Watch Jake Paul end up signing John Jones and Francis Ngannou to fight each other. And he'll be the one to pay them out the money that they want. So, see, Dana White, getting into boxing, there's a conflict of interest there for him because he has two combat sports now. And he's clearly going to be paying out more money to one side than the other. But he's a UFC guy. He built UFC to what it is today. He's been at it for years. He just stepped into boxing. And it's already giving those guys more money than the MMA fighters who even consider themselves legends or people consider them legends. So, you see how Francis Ngannou ended up leaving, right? John Jones, he's going to end up leaving. You're going to see the big stars in MMA that want to make millions like that, they're going to start leaving. So Dana White is going to start doing great in boxing, but in MMA, he's going to have some issues. Some of his fighters are going to leave and go sign with a different promoter. B Skull, when have boxers not made more than UFC fighters? Now, boxers have always made more than UFC fighters. But the point is, that UFC fighters been getting jerked. That's the problem. UFC fighters could be making a lot more money. They just don't. They get paid bullshit money. But the UFC generates. They do great numbers on TV. They own their venues that they fight. They sell out arenas. They sell out. They do great numbers. But the fighters don't make great money. That's the thing. So if you're a UFC fighter, and let's say you're a world champion, and you're looking at them giving $15 million to Conor Ben, you're like, wait a minute. What's going on over here? Because that's boxing and this is UFC, but it's still Dana White. Dana White's cutting those checks. Ultimately, I want you to think about this. Ultimately, John Jones is not going to fight in the White House because Conor got $15 million and he couldn't get paid that. He couldn't get that respect. Now you have to think about it. Who's had the better career out of them two? Who had the better career? Conor Ben, John Jones. It's not even close. John Jones is widely considered the GOAT. Look at the accomplishments, the titles won. Conor Ben hasn't even been a world champion yet. Ain't even win a title yet. So it's not even close who's more accomplished, John Jones. So he's looking at it like, damn, $15 million. Yeah, I'm going to need $15 million too. Let me get my 15 mils. B-Scope. Turkey cutting those boxing checks for Zuffa. Whoever cutting them, but right now, John Jones is like, I need 15 mil too. Somebody cut that check. Sorry, Conor Ben ain't even been a champ. Conor Ben hasn't accomplished. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. UFC fighters who are accomplished are gonna look at this like, wait a minute. This dude getting $15 million for one fight. I haven't made that in my whole career. My whole career. I ain't seen that much money. And this guy's getting it for one fight? Hold on. I need to talk to somebody. We need to figure this out. But we already see one fight. One big fight, obviously, the White House card. That's not going to happen because of the conflict of what boxers are being paid or offered or what's being reported. That's it. This is one fight. So we're seeing a negative effect on Dana White's UFC. The UFC is going to take a back seat to boxing. It's taking a back seat. Yes, sir. You know what? If I was a billionaire, this would be the perfect time to start a new MMA league right now. Like if you're a billionaire, if you got money like that, this would be the perfect time. You know why? Because Dana's gonna start losing stars. Every star who contract run out, they're gonna want out. So if you got another MMA league now, you start signing the big stars. And they'll cross over to your league. I'm telling you, UFC, and then you pay them more money, obviously. You pay everybody more money than what Dana White paid them. You sign all of them. MS, UFC, underpaid fighters on crack. Pat McCart, Conor McGregor spent all his time making money promoting bare knuckle league. Yeah, that's it. He's a bare knuckle guy. He really is into it. You can see, like he enjoys those events. And if I'm not mistaken, he's bought in. He's like a part owner or something like that. Clifton Dennis, it's another league already paying a lot more than UFC, but nobody watches it. I'm telling you, people will be able to get to start signing big names, and they could get popularized. But right now, you're gonna see fighters looking to leave the UFC. You're gonna see guys like, nah, man, they people gonna feel like they're getting jerked. And look, man, the pay, the way the pay works, the way the system works, it doesn't work. It works if you're one of the big stars, one of the big boys, but if not, your ass is cooked. Because the thing about the UFC is that they don't really have a ranking system. They just fight whoever they don't want to fight, and I say, oh, you and you fight each other. You and you fight each other. But they don't have like a real ranking system. To my understanding, it's more like whatever Dana wants. Clifton Dennis, Francis Ngannou fights there because UFC doesn't pay. But nobody watches unless you're really into that style of fighting. Bisco, Ben and Eubanks sold out 60,000 seat stadium. John Jones never did that. I mean, he fight on UFC, so I don't think they fighting on that type of stadium. And honestly, I don't track the audience, the stuff like that for UFC or even for boxing. I don't really track that. But still, you're talking about Ben versus Eubank. Ben versus Ruger is not going to do that. I bet you's not even going to do close to that. So you're talking about a fight between superstars. Guess what, B-Score? And I want you to consider this. If John Jones was to do it with who was it that he was supposed to fight? I know it was a big name there that he was supposed. Oh no, with Ngannou. If John Jones does it with Ngannou, they'll do a big stadium and sell out too. It'll be big. Don't get it twisted, bro. It will be big. Clifton Dennis, they should come together and go over there. But I bet most guys are under contract and can't move. That's a fact. Most fighters, that's why you don't even see guys saying nothing negative. Because you're under contract and you say the wrong thing, your ass is cooked. But you can only do that if you're like at the tail end of your contract. So you don't give a damn anymore. Your contract about to be up. But if you have a long way to go in that contract, you basically got to keep your mouth shut or your ass is cooked. Simple as that. Your ass is cooked. So, since we was talking about Zuffa boxing, let's bring this up. Jayo Pataya might get stripped of his IBF title. What happens then? the expectations were that Ja was going to be allowed to unify titles and become, well, he was already a unified champion to become undisputed. He would pursue the undisputed crown. Well, he fights, and the fight was not sanctioned by the IBF. So he did officially defend the IBF title. Iframura, they support their fighter across the pond. That's a fact. That is a fact. I said it before. I give UK fans their credit because their guys could take an L, could get knocked out, take multiple L's, and they still support them. They still give them that same support. Look at UK fighters right now who have multiple losses, and you see the love that they still get. But man, in the US is brutal. You take a L, you got exposed, you washed up, you cooked, you're not the same anymore. You're a hype job. The internet goes hard on you. It's like you're done, your career is over. Soon as you take a loss. Look at Teofimo Lopez. It was to Shakur Stevenson that he lost. He didn't lose to a bum. He didn't lose to an average Joe. He lost to the guy who's ranked top 3 in the pound for pound list. And people's already like, oh, now Teofimo got exposed. And he's not the same. And anyways, he had already lost to Cam. Like, come on. Come on, my people. We got to respect the fighters. And respect their accomplishments. And understand that everybody can't do a lot of the things some of these guys accomplish. Because take a look at what Teofimo's done. Multi-division champion, lineal champion, unified champion, Ring Magazine champion. Come on now. Teofimo is one of the most accomplished young fighters of this generation. But, you know, boxing is a what have you done for me lately sport. So he took a L, and that's it. Social media going hard on him. And social media go like that at Teofimo for 2 reasons. Number 1, because he took a L. And number 2, because how much they dislike Shakur Stevenson. They hate on Shakur so much that they would rather diminish Teofimo than actually acknowledge, yeah, yo, Shakur nice. Yeah, he nice. They don't want to say that. They prefer to be like, yeah, but Teofimo, he not all that. He already lost to Barboza anyways. Like, what the fuck? You gonna tear him down now? So, there's a difference between making an honest assessment versus you don't like the guy, so you always have a negative point of view. You always look for a negative angle. And I told you guys before, casual fans, right? They usually measure a fighter by when they lost. But people who understand the sport of boxing, they measure their accomplishments. You see the difference? That's a difference, right? Some people are like, no, because in this fight, look what happened. A whole career you're going to ignore. You know, like Teofimo Lopez beat Vasil Lomachenko while in his prime, while performing at the highest of his ability. And Teofimo beat him. Walked out of there with the dub. A Hall of Famer. Because don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Lomachenko's headed straight for the Hall of Fame. And Teofimo got that W over him. Moved up to 140. Undisputed champion. Beat him too. Like, all you got to do is look at the resume. Look at the resume. Look at the titles won. Look at the accomplishments. Teofimo is one of the best of this generation. Literally. Clifton Dennis. Technically, Teo already lost to a bum. But I understand, Jay. I'm just being funny. I mean, I don't think Barboza is a bum. You know, he's not up there like that. But not a bum either. Side, you don't even need to lose to be criticized in the U.S. Like with Shakur de los Santos or Bud and Madrimov. You're right. And the funny thing is, Shakur, after that fight, you see the 3 fights that he has had, and people still bringing up the De Los Santos fight. The De Los Santos fight is going to be kind of like the Gamboa fight for Crawford. Where, think about it, by the time Crawford fought Canelo Alvarez, it had been 10 years since he fought Gamboa. And people were still talking about Gamboa wobbled him, so imagine what Canelo's going to do. 10 years later, they were still bringing up the Gamboa fight. So it's going to be the same thing. It's already been a few years, and they still bringing up the De Los Santos fight. Like Shakur fight, every fight like that. But no other fight has been like that since. But that's the thing. When you want to have a narrative about a fighter, you just keep repeating the same thing over and over. Based off of that fight, Shakur's boring. You're like, damn, that's it. That's all you've seen, that fight? But that's how the haters be. Clifton Dennis. I don't know why Bud was criticized for that fight. I like Bud's performance. It was a great performance. You know why he was criticized? Because there wasn't a complete domination. And every time that a great fighter doesn't completely dominate their opponent, all the haters are going to say that they lost. He lost. There's people that were saying that he lost. He lost that fight. Iframura, U.S., they look at the dog in the fight. UK, look at the fight in the dog. That's a good analogy. Black Cadillac. Yo, go ahead and sleep on Teodoro. Damn, Teodoro. That young man still has mad skills. Shakur can make anyone look bad. I agree with you. Teofimo, like I said before, man, Teofimo is one of the best fighters of this generation. Period. The resume, the accomplishments are there. And guess what? He's going to become a world champion again. No, he can't beat Shakur. 10 out of 10 times he will lose. But he's going to become a world champion. Watch. He's going to become a world champion. And continue to accomplish. Kelly Monero, Shakur should have rematched him and forgot about the paychecks because De Los Santos really was too good for Shakur. Shakur beat him with one hand. Beat him with one hand, right? It ain't make no sense to rematch him at all. It would have been a super easy win. But it wouldn't have made no sense because De Los Santos wasn't a big name. Look, to be honest, most people didn't even know De Los Santos until he fought Shakur. And they became a fan of De Los Santos because they feel like, yo, man, I think he could have got him. But nah, Shakur beat him with one hand. In a rematch, he would make it look too easy. Too easy. DJ Hecky. Whenever there's no knockout, there's a problem. And how are you eating while we live? God bless. Salute. The show's boxing for breakfast, bro. It is boxing for... Look at it right there. You could be eating too. I don't know. Some of y'all eating right now. Don't cap. So yeah, my brother's boxing for breakfast. This is what we doing. We talking boxing and we having breakfast. Yo, side, this is a bagel with egg, cheese, and ham. DJ Hecky Shakur is just a great boxer, point blank, period. His jab and defensive skills are crazy. Enjoy it, Pop. Salute, family. I have to agree with you, man. Shakur's a special fighter. Special. Not just the jab. You know, the punch placement, the angles, the combination punching. Shakur brings a lot to the table. And the defense, we already know. Defense is off the charts. Kelly Monero, De Los Santos, gold, correct? I don't know what you mean by that. But look, I don't want to downplay him. Edwin De Los Santos is a very good fighter. Very good fighter. He signed with Zoo for boxing, by the way. But he doesn't beat Shakur. He can't beat Shakur. That's just the truth. Pasta track. Eating, listening to this guy. The man eating. Black Cadillac, Teofimo. Darn spell check. Yeah, I'm like, damn, Teodoro? That's a singer, bro. He sings. He from Mora Café Bustelo. Whoa. Was Shakur on JRE? What's that, bro? You lost me on that one. Got me lost. My peoples, we was talking about this yesterday. Spoke about it yesterday. I did not see it if he was there. Virgil Ortiz versus Jerome Boots Ennis. It's looking like it's not going to happen. Kind of disappointed. This could have been a great fight. People were even making predictions. Damn, spilled my juice and everything. Could have been a great fight, man. I really wanted to get this one. I'm honestly disappointed in Virgil and his team for this goofball move that they pulled off. DJ Hecky, it's amazing to me how Conor Ben isn't even mentioned. I'd love to see him with anyone of these top-tier guys. But Buffalo got him now. The Ortiz fight is definitely not happening. I'm disappointed, man. We should have got this fight. This fight could have and should have been next. Virgil has a year and change left in his Golden Boy contract until May of next year. Just play out your contract, man. Do your fights. Stop playing games. Trent Thomas. See, true fans have seen the best lose. These days, some of the best dodge because of politics. I come from the days of Ali and Frazier, and everyone fought against everyone. And if you think about it, the generations after them, you know, when you look at Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas the Hitman Hearns, Duran, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, all these guys was fighting each other. Then if you go after that, you look at the heavyweights. You look at Lennox Lewis. You look at Riddick Bowe. You look at Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson. You look at all these heavyweights, they was fighting each other. So, you know, even after that, when you start thinking about Oscar De La Hoya, Tito Trinidad, Bernard Hopkins, who, you know, these fighters were getting in there with everybody from their era. But then the Floyd Mayweather career happens. And after Floyd Mayweather retired with that O, made the most money, became the most famous, that's it. Everybody now want to retire with that O. And it's not like that's always been the case. Nobody want to lose, right? But the difference is, before, when you lost, that didn't mean anything. The same people that was backing you before the fight was backing you after the fight. Not the case now. Now you take a L, they're going to discredit you. They're going to talk about, nah, you're not the same. You're a hype job. You washed up. All of it. The works. The works. DJ Hecky. What is it with Ortiz? He let the business disrupt his momentum. And I got to tell you, man, you know, as a young fighter who's developing, who's, you know, trying to break in as one of the big stars in the game and everything, that was like a horrible thing to do, because now he's inactive for the second time. That's why I reminded you guys yesterday, Ortiz, when he was at the welterweight division, he was inactive for like a year. Remember when he got sick? And then he felt ill once again when he was supposed to fight the European dude. I can't remember his name. And they couldn't make it happen. Stanionis. He was supposed to fight Stanionis and he couldn't make weight. He got sick. And then they tried to make the fight again. He got sick. He was inactive almost for like a year. And now look, he's going to be inactive again. Inactivity throughout his career. Not good. That stunts your growth in boxing. Iframora, bro, even with the O, people will hate you. Oh, no, that's a fact. That is 100% fact. Whether you're undefeated or not, they're going to hate you anyways. Pasta Track. Philly was one of the best boxers I've seen when he had that run. He was champ, Jay. Listen, Tito Trinidad, first of all, he never took an L in the welterweight division. I consider him one of the best 147-pounders of all time. Never took an L at welterweight. Then he moved up to 54. And he fought David Reed, who was undefeated at that time. Olympian. Did he win a gold medal? I don't remember what medal he won, but I know he's an Olympic medalist. And Trinidad beat him at 154. That was a heck of a fight. Trinidad dropped him, hurt him. Just beat him up. Beat him up. And then he moved up again. But eventually, that's it. Moving up got to him. Cousin Jack, what do you think when Tim Tszyu fought Tony Harrison? I know, I don't know much about Harrison, but he seemed a bit old. How good was he, Tony? Nah, Tony was a good fighter. Tony Harrison was a real good fighter, but he's been through some tough fights. And I say, yeah, he's at the tail end of his career. But Tony Harrison's a guy who can fight. Pasta track. I work with a kid just looking just like him on lace kicks. Jay, do you see the Valley fight on Pro Box yesterday? I felt like they robbed the Mexican. I did not see it, my brother. Did not see it. Pasta track. What do you think Trinidad would do to these fighters today? I would take Felix against Shakur. So Felix against Shakur wouldn't even happen, bro, because you got to remember, Felix Trinidad was a 147-pounder. He started his career at 147, and then he gradually moved up. So Shakur started in the 120s. They would have never met. They would have never been in the same division. I mean, look, Shakur's 28 years old right now, or maybe 29 already. And he's fighting at 135, 140. And I'm almost sure Trinidad kicked off his career in the welterweight division. So right away, he was at 147. So the size difference, I don't think they ever would have met. Trent Thomas, that's politics in this era of boxing. Black Cadillac. Conor Benn does not have the fundamental boxing skills to beat Shakur. He needs to leave Shakur's name out of his mouth. Look, man, I'm going to tell you this right now. Conor Benn is food for Shakur. Food, tasty. Cousin Jay, Sugar Ray Leonard better than Floyd. What you think? Look, if you put Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather both in their prime, I say that's a 50-50 fight. 50-50, I don't know. Hard to say. Pasta track. So he beat Canelo, Floyd beat Canelo, and Bud beat Canelo. Those two right there. Pasta track. If Sugar Ray Leonard would knock him out, if Sugar Ray, hold on, because you say if Sugar Ray or Round Ray would knock him out, Ray on Ray, side, Haney and Shakur both make Ben look silly. Yeah, he's food. He's food for both of them. Telling you that right now. I don't know that we'll ever see that fight because Conor Benn already said that, you know, for him to get on a rehydration clause, he need like $20 million or some shit like that. That shit was hilarious. Like, bro, you know damn well ain't nobody giving you no $20 million for no rehydration clause. You never made that amount of money for a fight in your life. And you want it for a rehydration clause? That's big cap. Side, he called them both boring. AKA, they beat my ass. That's a good translation. Good translation. Pasta track. Ray would knock out Mayweather easy in a dream fight. I think that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, bro. When you say easy, Floyd Mayweather never took an L in his life. Best defensive fighter ever. So I don't think anybody's going to knock him out easy. Bro, that's crazy. That's a stretch. Ow, Conor Benn beat up a weight drain Eubanks. Overrated in my book. I mean, I don't think he's overrated. I got to remind you that Eubanks beat him in that same weight class. So that's something to point out. When you're saying that Eubanks was weight drained, Eubanks beat him in that same weight. That's the first thing that we got to point out. He beat him in the rematch. He had to come back for a rematch, which people thought he was going to lose. And I told you guys he was going to win. But that's a good win for Conor Benn. You're diminishing it. You're like, nah, you know. You're trying to diminish it, but nah, that's a legit win. That's a real good win. Cousin Jeff, do you know Jeff Fenech? He was Mike Tyson's friend. At one stage, he had most punch thrown in a round. Old boss Australian boxer. I see video on him, but it's not somebody that I followed like that. Side, Sugar Ray said himself he doesn't know how he'd beat Mayweather. It would be a great fight for sure. Yeah, I would see Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather as a 50-50 fight. Pasta track. Ray Leonard is one of the best boxers skilled. Danny Boy Green breaking jaws and hospital stays. Duran Hearns. DJ Hecky as he broke Eubank's jaw. Cousin Jad, Sugar Ray being humble, he would pump Floyd. They sleeping, Sugar Ray best of the best. Nah, look, man, I'm not sleeping. Sugar Ray Leonard is an all-time great fighter, and lucky for us that by the time he was fighting, cameras were already more improved, the way they capture footage. So we can actually enjoy Sugar Ray Leonard fights and see what he did in the ring. Because that's the thing. Previous eras of boxing, you can't really enjoy the fights like that. But Sugar Ray Leonard was already fighting when you could watch and enjoy those punches. Pasta track. No, Ray got older. He used to say he'd knock out Mayweather. He'd knock Mayweather out. I seen it. But he's also a humble guy. You don't see Sugar Ray Leonard often saying that he's one of the best all time and that he's one of the greatest. But it is what it is, man. Out. Does Shakur have superstar potential or the personality to become the face of boxing, in your opinion? Oh, 100%. 100%. He has everything that it takes to be a superstar. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, the boxing skills. When you look at the boxing skills, he's already becoming a guy that people want to see him lose. People want to see him get hit. So he got a style that it makes people mad because they want him to be in a war and he making them look easy. So he got the style to become a superstar. He got the look. He's a handsome kid. No homo. So he got the look that you can make him into a superstar. And the personality, too. He's the whole package deal. Shakur is the entire... You need all of these things to be a superstar. Floyd had it. Canelo had it. Canelo has it. Oscar De La Hoya had it. Shakur Stevenson has it. He's a superstar in the making. We're watching a superstar being born. Pasta track. You only beat Ray once. Cousin Jack, in your opinion, best heavyweight ever. I think an argument could be made that is Muhammad Ali. I think an argument could be made. Avery Young, peace, King. Salute, family. Bam. Ephraim Moore, I think Hearns would have been a nightmare for Mayweather. The thing is, though, that Mayweather capped out his career at 147. And Tommy Hearns was fighting well above that. So I think that Hearns and Floyd would have probably never met in the ring. If you look at their age and the weight class that they fought, at what age, I don't think that they would have met in the ring. I think Tommy Hearns is somebody that by the time Mayweather got to welterweight, he would have been 160 or something like that. Black Cadillac. You guys are missing one thing. Sugar Ray didn't fight the marvelous Marvin Hagler until Hagler was past his prime. And that Leonard win is still in question. I mean, that was the type of fight that could have gone either way. They both landed a lot of punches on each other. It was a good fight, competitive fight. But I will say this. If you watched it, and I'm pretty sure you did, there was nothing about Marvelous Marvin Hagler that night that we could point at and say he's old. If you look at the punch output from Hagler, it was crazy. Mad punches. If you look at the punches that he landed on Sugar Ray Leonard, he landed punches that would have stopped somebody else. People don't give Sugar Ray enough credit for the way that he took punishment. He's a guy that would take big shots and then bounce right back and have a moment, have his own moment, land his own shots. So there wasn't anything in that fight that told us that Hagler was old. He looked good. He looked sharp, fast, strong, letting the hands fly upon Sugar Ray Leonard. So I say they both fought at the highest level. And Sugar Ray won. Sugar Ray got the W. Pasta track. Sugar Ray would have fought him at 147 at 23, no? But that's the thing. At 23 years old, Shakur Stevenson would have been fighting at 126. Look, Shakur's 28 right now. And he's still not fighting at 147. If we're talking about, Pasta Track, if we're talking about Sugar Ray Leonard and Shakur Stevenson, would have been in different weight class at that age. And even with Floyd, because Floyd wasn't at welterweight by 23 years old yet. Cousin Jeff, for sure, Ali the best. People think he's overrated. I think he's underrated. Look who he fought and how he fought. Ali the GOAT. Lennox Lewis next, in my opinion. Muhammad Ali is seen as the greatest of all time by a lot of people, and there's a reason for that. There's a reason. You got to look at the resume. Lennox Lewis is a great fighter. Great heavyweight fighter. And at his era, he was one of my favorites to watch. Byron, sup, y'all? Florida in the building. Salute, family. Bam. Pasta track. Ray took a shot from the Hearns too. Remember that punch? Listen. If you think about it, Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns, they really went to war. They had moments where there was nobody blocking. Boom, 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 boom. They was just trying to lump each other up. What a fight. They really went at it. Super Kyle, do you agree Sugar Ray Robinson ranked #1 pound for pound? So I know of Sugar Ray Robinson's greatness, but I didn't get to watch it. So it's really hard for me to rank a fighter that I didn't really get to see, and that the footage out there is not, and you can't really, measure their opponents. So it's hard for me. I leave the ranking of Sugar Ray Robinson for the older generation that actually could say, yeah, I saw him. I watch his fights. But me myself, honestly, it's hard for me to. I simply repeat what I hear. I repeat what I hear. He was one of the best. But I didn't get to watch him. Byron, I remember Wide World of Sports and watching the Norton versus Holmes fight. Ooh. ESPN, man. ESPN. And then, but later on, man, when we started getting Showtime After Dark and was it HBO After Dark or Showtime After Dark? Nah, I can't even remember. But we had that HBO boxing, Showtime boxing. That was crazy. Pasta Trap. You got to be around when that fighter fought. When that fighter was around. That's the thing, that you experience the difference. When it's an era that you get to live, because let me tell you something, man. Anybody who's in their 40s now and has been a boxing fan for a long time, we got to witness Floyd Mayweather's entire career. You know, we got to see him crying after getting robbed in the Olympics to win a silver medal. And then we got to see him turn pro. You know, I got to see his first title shot versus Gennaro Hernandez, and how he just absolutely dominated Gennaro Hernandez. Like, put the beats on him, embarrassed him, retired him. Hernandez retired after that. It was such a dominant performance for Floyd Mayweather to become a world champion. And I got to see Floyd, accomplish, beat Diego Corrales, rest in peace. Chico Corrales was the last time in Floyd Mayweather's career that he was the underdog for a fight. Chico was the favorite to beat him. And Floyd absolutely dominated him. And, the progression of Floyd Mayweather's career from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Man. And then when he gets to the point where now he's making the most millions out of everybody in the history of boxing and becoming this superstar. I got to see Floyd's career from beginning to end. The same thing with Terrence Crawford. I got to see Terrence Crawford. The first time I saw him was like 3 fights before the Gamboa fight. And I remember the announcer was talking about he had just signed with ESPN, and this was his first fight. And from that first time that I seen him fight, man, I was like, yo, this dude's special, man. Back then, like when nobody knew Crawford, I was telling my friends, like, yo, ain't nobody beating this guy. Nobody beat him. This guy's nice, bro. I could see in Terrence Crawford that he was different. And look, I got to witness his whole career all the way up until he beats Canelo Alvarez. Sometimes you witness history, you don't even know what you watched. His win over Canelo Alvarez is going to be written as one of the biggest wins in boxing history, my people. We watched a dude go from 154 to 168 and beat the reigning undisputed world champion. No rehydration close, no nothing. Just go out there and beat him. We ain't never seen that before. We might never see it again, my peoples. Let that sizzle in your spirit. Byron, that Chico versus Mayweather was the only time I bet against Floyd. That fight was crazy, though, because a lot of people felt like Chico was going to beat him. And I myself, at that time, I was like, nah, I felt like Floyd was going to win that fight, but I was nervous just because that energy that I was getting from everybody around me. Like, people were so confident. There was people telling me, yo, nah, Diego Corrales going to knock him out. He's getting knocked out. I was like, damn. So it kind of shook my confidence to see what people were saying. But, whoa, Floyd Mayweather showed out. Beat the shit out of Diego Corrales. That was crazy. Crazy. Cousin Jen. Man. Oh, y'all means talking Australia. Peace out, cuz. It's man having a couple questions with y'all. Look after yourself. If you don't, nobody else will. That's facts. That's facts. Peace. Out. Salvador Sanchez was a bad man from back in the day. Yes, man. Look, Salvador Sanchez is someone who tragically passed away young in a car accident. He accomplished a lot at his young age. And if he may have gone down as the best, greatest Mexican fighter of all time, had it not been because of that accident. Even now, with his career being shortened by that tragedy, there's people who consider him the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, even right now. Floyd and Roger Mayweather had great chemistry as boxer trainer. Then they had, I guess, they had a fallout. And eventually Floyd Mayweather ended up firing his pops. Oh no, Roger's his uncle. My bad, Rogers' uncle. Side. Salvador Sanchez is the best Mexican boxer for me. You see, there's people who consider him the best. Ifamora, I saw that too about Crawford. And I said was the same thing about Nicholas Walters. I was 50-50. I'm telling you, man, as soon as I saw Terrence Crawford fight, for every fight after that, I had him winning it. There was never a Terrence Crawford fight that I could envision him losing. Pasta trap. He knocked out Mayweather. He just didn't fall down. I'm telling you, my peoples. I never saw a fight where before it took place, I thought Crawford was going to lose. Byron, I watched Julio Cesar Chavez versus Whitaker in Tijuana, Mexico. Oh, wow. That was a good fight, man. And the notion was that Whitaker won the fight. People felt like Whitaker beat him. Julio Cesar Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor, bro. That was my first fight. First fight. Pops took me to go see that fight at a friend's house. And that's it. I became a fan of boxing. My peoples, I'm about to end today's episode of Boxing for Breakfast. But before I do, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. Cy, Byron, Pasta Track, Ifamora, Trent Holmes, Salute Family, JJ Zendejas in the building, Conscious, Salute, and everybody else who tuned in, my peoples, I appreciate you guys. Y'all already know what it is. Tonight, I will be calling the fights live, so make sure you tune in. Gabriela Fundora is going to be doing her thing. Oscar Collazo is going to be doing his thing. And, of course, the main event, Kenneth Sims versus Arnold Barboza. Sims is the favorite to win it. I made my prediction. I told you guys I got Arnold Barboza winning this fight. We're going to see how it plays out tonight, fellas. Y'all already know what it is. I hope you enjoy this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I'm about to get the hell out of here. Now I'm about to spend time with my family. You go spend time with yours. Salute, everybody. Jay Smith, I'm signing off. Bam. Peace out, y'all. We out of here.